So picture this. You're right in the middle of a conversation, maybe at work, maybe at a social event, and suddenly you just freeze. You know the exact feeling, right? Someone says something, the words completely blur together. Or you suddenly realize you need a huge favor but have absolutely no idea how to ask without sounding, well, kind of rude. Hey, it happens to literally all of us. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to fix that frozen feeling for good. We're turning those moments of panic into moments of total confidence by building your ultimate English communication toolkit, straight from the most essential everyday phrases.
All right, let's look at our game plan for today. We're breaking this toolkit down into 5 main areas: seeking clarity, navigating assistance, managing schedules, mastering politeness, and building rapport. Let's jump right in.
Section 1, Seeking Clarity and Understanding, or How to Navigate Fast Talkers and Noisy Rooms. Okay, imagine this scenario. You're sitting in a meeting, and your colleague is just rapid-firing information at you. I mean, they're super excited, speaking a mile a minute, throwing out deadlines and details, boom, 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 and your brain is just screaming, whoa, wait, slow down. So what do you actually do when they're just speaking way too fast? Well, the solution here is brilliantly simple. Could you please speak more slowly? Just say it calmly and politely. You see, effective communication is really all about being considerate of each other's needs. By simply asking them to slow down, you're actually showing them that you value their words way too much to just let them fly right over your head.
But you know, speed isn't the only barrier we face. What if you're in a packed, noisy coffee shop? Or maybe you're on a phone call with absolutely terrible static. The environment is just loud. Or maybe the topic itself is super complex and you completely missed the core message.
When you just need to hit pause on the conversation, could you please repeat that is your absolute go-to for a noisy room? If the concept itself is what's confusing, just own it. Try saying, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Could you explain it again? And for a bit more depth, especially in a professional setting, could you explain that in more detail? Now, a lot of people worry these phrases make them look bad. But actually, scratch that. They aren't signs of weakness at all. They're signs of active listening. They actively show the speaker that you're attentive, you're engaged, and you're genuinely curious about what they have to say. Moving on to Section 2, Navigating Everyday Assistance. Basically, how to ask for help and how to offer it politely. Now, context is absolutely everything. Think about it. In a casual setting, maybe at a store, "Can you help me, please?" is straightforward, it's polite, it does the job. But in a professional environment, elevating your vocabulary to "I need your assistance" maintains that same clarity, but it adds a really nice layer of formal respect that's much more suitable for the workplace. When we need to make specific, actionable requests, phrases like, "Would you mind helping me with this task?" or "Could you send me the report?" are just fantastic tools. They're direct enough to facilitate workflow, so, things actually get done, but they're framed as polite requests rather than bossy demands. It shows immense consideration for the other person's time. But hey, communication is a two-way street, right? What if you're the one offering the help? Being proactive like this is honestly a superpower. Asking a colleague who looks a bit swamped, "Can I assist you with anything?" or simply leaving the door open by saying, "Let me know if you need any help," really conveys openness. These phrases are the literal building blocks of a supportive team environment. They encourage cooperation and show for sure that you're a true team player. Okay, Section 3, Managing Schedules and Preferences. Let's look at coordinating our busy lives with some clarity. Have you ever been stuck in that endless, agonizing back and forth loop of when works for you? I don't know, whenever works for you. Ugh, it's the worst. Well, you can cut right through that just by clearly communicating your preferences. Stating something simple like, "I'd prefer to meet in the morning," immediately gives the other person a parameter to work with. It's perfectly polite, but it sets a boundary that helps coordinate activities without all the guesswork. And, of course, life happens. Plans inevitably change. When they do, "Could we reschedule our appointment?" is your trusty go-to. The real subtext here is all about showing consideration. You're not just bailing on them, you're courteously requesting a shift. And here is the golden rule for this one. Always, always follow this phrase up by offering a few alternative times. It shows you respect their schedule just as much as your own. Which brings us to Section 4, Mastering Politeness and Interruptions and Projecting Professional Grace. All right, here's a tricky dilemma for you. You're in a busy, super passionate meeting. People are talking over each other, ideas are flowing like water, but you have this absolutely crucial piece of information that needs to be shared right now. How do you actually speak up and jump into the conversation without stepping on anyone's toes or seeming aggressively rude? Well, "May I interrupt you for a moment" is your golden ticket here. It's just the perfect, most polite interjection.
By explicitly asking for permission, you immediately show respect for the person who's currently speaking, acknowledging that they have the floor, while seamlessly carving out a little space for yourself to contribute productively. It works like a charm. And while we're on the topic of fundamental politeness, let's take a quick second to appreciate the absolute versatility of excuse me. I mean, it really is the Swiss Army knife of English phrases, isn't it? You can use it conversationally to get someone's attention, you can use it physically to maneuver past someone in a crowded hallway, or you can just use it to quickly apologize if you accidentally bump into someone. It's a super handy, catch-all phrase that ensures you maintain a solid baseline of politeness through all your everyday interactions. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, building rapport through empathy, focusing on sincere apologies and giving praise. Let's start with making amends. Sometimes a standard sorry just doesn't quite cut it. When you really mess up, please accept my sincere apologies is an incredibly powerful tool. It's a totally heartfelt demonstration of your desire to make things right. It proves that you're stepping up, taking full responsibility for a mistake or a misunderstanding. It shows deep empathy and a real commitment to repairing that relationship, whether it's personal or professional. This actually brings us to a fascinating comparison on how to graciously handle two very different situations. Say a project gets delayed. You can acknowledge the disruption by saying, "I apologize for the inconvenience." It shows you respect their time. But on the flip side, when someone really goes out of their way to help you, you acknowledge that support with, "I appreciate your assistance." Both phrases are deeply respectful. They're just applied to completely opposite ends of the workplace spectrum.
Now, for the really fun part, giving praise. Seriously, never underestimate the power of these phrases. Looking a colleague in the eye and saying, "You did a fantastic job," or "I admire your creativity," does so much more than just make them smile. It recognizes innovative thinking, it celebrates their unique strengths, and it literally elevates the morale of the entire team. And of course, cementing the whole shebang with the fundamental "thank you and you're welcome." Expressing basic, everyday gratitude is the absolute bedrock of fostering positive, lasting relationships. Which brings this explainer right back full circle to a classic, super familiar phrase, "nice to meet you." You know, sometimes the absolute simplest tools in our kit are the most effective ones. Whether you're using advanced phrasing to navigate a tricky scheduling conflict, or just introducing yourself to a new face in the office, remembering to deploy simple, friendly tools creates a positive first impression that really sets the stage for everything that follows. So, we have covered a ton of ground today, unpacking everything from clarifying a noisy, confusing conversation to offering genuine, sincere praise. You now have a complete, highly structured toolkit right at your fingertips. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question. Which of these phrases will you confidently pull from your toolkit to completely transform your very next conversation? Keep practicing, use them boldly out there in the real world, and watch your communication absolutely thrive. Thanks so much for learning with me today.